Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joffrey Noodle Legs here today. Today I'm going to go through my top 10 favourite horror films in 4K. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean these are the best horror films, okay? What it means is the ones that I own, this is the one I base on my favourite sort of in their film quality and if it was actually worth that 4K upgrade, some of them. Some of these would have been released in 4K anyway because they were filmed in 4K. But a lot of these films weren't filmed in 4K and they've obviously been remastered, etc. And now they're available as 4K. So I've done a top 10. I've got a few honourable mentions. Now, I'm not a massive 4K buyer. I mean, I've been into I've got 4K TV in that when it came out and the 4K player, but I don't own many 4K films. There's a number of reasons for that. One is mostly the price. They're extortionate sometimes. They're like £24.99 to £30 for a movie. And I just think, yeah, but some movies you might only watch once, so do you want to be paying that amount? So a lot of times my 4Ks, I'll pick them up if I get a good deal. For example, like Venom that I got on my CX pickups. If I get a good deal on it, unless it's an amazing film that I love and it's one of my all-time classic favourites, I will pick it up in 4K. And there's a few in here. But yeah, I'm not a massive 4K. Like if a film comes out, I won't rush out and buy it in 4K. Like the new Scream film came out. It came out in DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. I bought the Blu-ray. I'll be quite content with the Blu-ray. I don't need the 4K. It's not going to be anything I really need to own in 4K. So, you know, I'm like that. And I find in the 4K hobby, there's a lot of, I don't know if this is the right word, but sort of snobbery goes on in the 4K hobby because I just find it like sometimes I watch some sort of YouTubers who collect films like myself, and sometimes they're like commenting on films they brought, you know, that they brought from HMV, and they'll go, oh, but I feel really ripped off because it didn't have a slipcase. And I'm thinking, well, you're not ripped off for two reasons. One, you didn't have to buy it. There's nothing saying, well, I've got to buy that film. Oh, you know what I mean? It's got no slipcase. It's your choice. You make that choice to buy it or not. You know, if slipcases are that important to you, then no, I don't know. So, but yeah, I just thinking you're not ripped off because, you know, didn't have a slipcase. You made that choice to buy it anyway. And number two, you're buying it for the movie and maybe some of the special features. As long as they're intact, that's the reason why you should be buying it. So I mean, and I just don't understand that. And when I say sort of snobbery, like I used to be on a few 4K sort of movie groups on sort of social medias. I'm not in them anymore just because they get quite bitter. And I think, like for an example, a film came out on 4K. I can't remember what it was now, and I was quite disappointed with the transfer. Oh yeah, it's Predator 2. We were talking about Predator 2. And someone said, oh yeah, Predator 2, you know, 4K, amazing. Excuse me. And I put in my comment in because I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to share my opinion. If you put things up, I'm allowed to put my opinion. And I just said, well, I was really disappointed. I thought it's a really bad transfer. You know, it kind of seems like no better than the DVD. And well, I find a lot of the 4K collectors taking it as a personal hit against them, and they come down on me like a ton of fire, like, you know, how I didn't deserve to be on this group because I didn't like the transfer of the film. It's not, you know, I didn't like the movie. The movie's fantastic, but it was just like, yeah, and I just find it quite snobbery. So if you say anything that differs to their opinion, they really sort of come down and gang up on you. And I find that a lot happens, not necessarily in the horror community. I find them quite open and friendly, but in the 4K collecting community, I find them a little bit like that. Or, oh, why have you only got that edition? Why haven't you brought the special limited edition? Because that's £50. You know what I mean? I'm not, I'm not all silly because my 14.99 Blu-ray does exactly the same as your £50 special edition 4K. So I don't like that. So, but I do buy the odd 4K film. Like you say, if I get it at a good price or it's one of my favourites. So let's crack on with this one anyway. It's a little rant there. Didn't mean to do that, but it just gets to me sometimes when I'm just thinking, just enjoy the film. Buy the film for the film, you know. Don't worry about a slipcase. Anyway, so before I get to my top 10, got a few honourable mentions, and these are pretty much, there's probably one, two sort of horror, nah, they're kind of horror films, but I'm giving them honourable mentions because they're fantastic transfers that they are. And one of them is this one, and this is Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. Now, the Blu-ray transfer was quite shocking. It was really grainy and quite hard to see. Now they've sort of cleared it up a lot in this. Still got some grain in there, but you want some film grain in it, you know, because that's what gives it that sort of it gives that picture the atmosphere, the sort of noise of the picture. And they've sort of eliminated a lot on it on this film, and it looks stunning. So I'm giving this an honourable mention. Another one that it's not one of the best films by far, but the transfer and the picture quality of this, Dracula Untold, is really, really good. And I actually quite enjoyed this film. I've watched it a couple of times. It's not one I go back to very often because it's a lot of sort of CGI effects, which, as you know, I'm not a big fan of CGI and stuff. But this is quite a good film, and I quite enjoyed the story. And this is actually really, really good sort of picture quality on this film. It looks stunning, to be honest, and for horror film. And again, I picked this up because I think I got it for about, I think it was $6.99. It was on offer, like on one Black Friday something on Amazon a couple of years ago, and I bought that. Now this film I did buy outright because I wanted it. It's one of my favourite films, and it's not really a horror film really, and it's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. But I wanted to give it a shout out because again, the transfer on this is just mwah, it's just spot on. I absolutely love it. I do love this film. I love Richard Dreyfuss anyway, fantastic actor. But this was such a good buy. When I'm umming and ahhing because I did buy ET on 4K, and I was really disappointed with it. And I ended up trading that in, and I've just got the normal Blu-ray now because I was so disappointed by the transfer there. So I was very reluctant to get this, but because it's one of my favourite films, I thought I'm going to give it a try, and I was not disappointed. It looks stunning. The last honourable mention is a kind of a horror film. It's a bit of a monster flick, and it's Kong from Skull Island. This is really cool. Really enjoyed this film. It's a good popcorn movie, nothing to be taken seriously, but it looks stunning on 4K. So they are the honourable mentions. So I'm going to get to my top 10 now. I'm not going to waste too much time. Get to my top 10. I'm not going to tell you too much about the films because I've probably spoken about them so many times. Right, number 10, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Really good transfer. It is quite grainy. I still think they could have done a better job on it, to be honest. This is why it's quite low down in the actual top 10, although it's one of my top 5 favourite films of all time. It's quite low because I think they could have done a bit more on the transfer on this, but it is still really good. It's quite vibrant. Number 9 is a modern one, and it's the Alien Covenant, which is the last one of the Alien films. I absolutely love this one. I suppose you can call it Prometheus 2, if you like. It's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. There's only one Aliens film I'm not keen on. That's the second one, Aliens. I just don't think it fits in with the rest of them. But yeah, this was really, really cool. Brilliant transfer, great film. Picture quality is superb. Absolutely love that. Now this one I was shocked with the quality when I got it because it was amazing. In number 8, and it's Stephen King's The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Absolutely fantastic. I love this movie, and this is an awesome transfer. Really, really cool. It knocked out a lot of the grain off it, and it just looks vibrant. It looks like it was filmed 5-10 years ago, not like in the 1970s. Brilliant film. Right, number 7 is John Carpenter's The Fog. This is a really good transfer as well. This is a really good box set actually. This box set contains the 4K. It's got the Blu-ray version, and it's got a Blu-ray disc of extra features, and then it's also got a CD soundtrack. The Fog. That's a really good transfer of the film. Really good, underrated John Carpenter film. A lot of people don't. I love it. I think it's cool. I think it's a really, really good ghost story. Number 6 is, I'm cheating here because it's a series of films, and it's the Predator films, excluding number 2. Number 2 transfer is terrible, but all the rest are fantastic. This is the latest one, and it's a brilliant film, really good. But the first film and the third one, Predators, really good transfers, awesome films, brilliant horror films. You should have these in your collection anyway, guys. That is my number 6. Number 5, classic 1970s slasher, we all know, John Carpenter's Halloween. Really good transfer. Yes, it's still grainy, but I wanted it to be grainy. I think that's part of the charm of that film, is the grain. But it's not as harsh. It's the Blu-ray version is really cool, but this just gives it that little bit more sort of vibrant sharpness to the picture. If you do buy this, you get the Blu-ray with it as well anyway. So you've got the Blu-ray version of the film and the 4K, and it comes with these amazing studio sort of art cards, which I absolutely love. I shot him 6 times. There we go. Love that one. I would love that one as a poster. Really would. Yeah, really cool. So you've got some cool art cards in there. That would be such a cool poster, wouldn't it? I would love that as a poster. Yeah, that's Halloween, number 5. Number 4, another John Carpenter film. My second favourite John Carpenter film. And it stars my favourite actor, Kurt Russell. And it's the Thing. This is again another good transfer. This is another really good box set. You've got in here, you've got the 4K, you've got the Blu-ray edition, you've also got the Blu-ray of the prequel film that came out, which is really good, and it's also got the CD soundtrack in it too. Really good collection. Really love this film, The Thing. You must have seen it. If you haven't, you're missing out. It's one of the greatest horror stories of all time. Fantastic. Getting to the top 3. Number 3, classic 1970s monster horror film with Richard Dreyfuss and is it Roy Schneider, I think his name is, and so you all know what I'm talking about. It's Jaws. Absolutely fantastic. My second favourite film of all time. And this is a fantastic transfer. Really nice, crisp, clean transfer. If you can sort of make it out on the back there, how sort of vibrant the pictures are. And it's really cool. They've done a masterful job on this, and I think they had to, because it's got such a big fan base that if it wasn't next to perfect, it'll be up in arms. But yeah, really cool. Number 2, probably my second favourite alien film, and that's Prometheus. What a fantastic film this is, and what an amazing transfer. I also own this in 3D because I've got a 3D TV here, and a 4K one, and I own the 3D one, which is really cool. But just setting all that up and wearing the glasses, it's like, yeah. But this one, it's stunning film, excellent film, great story, great effects, amazing picture quality. Number 2. So my favourite horror 4K film has to be my favourite all-time film, and it's Alien. What an amazing job they've done on transferring this into 4K. It looks like it was made this year. It looks stunning. It's such a quite good picture quality in there. And of course, you know the film, no need me to tell you about it and why I love it so much, but it's number 1 here because the transfer, it's fantastic. Brilliant picture quality, brilliant film. It's got a slipcase, you're all jealous, I know. And it also contains the 4K and the standard Blu-ray, which is in my Blu-ray box set. And there we go, guys. That's my favourite horror 4K movies. What are yours? Let me know down below. Are you a 4K fanatic, or don't you mind like me? Don't mind. I'm quite happy having a film on DVD. If I've got a movie on DVD and I'm enjoying that, I won't feel the need to upgrade it unless I see the film like on Blu-ray and it's dirt cheap. I think, I'll pick that up, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyway guys, till next time, look after yourselves, and I really hope I see you all soon.